Her face walked into the room before she did, and people couldn't stop staring. Not because Meghan Markle suddenly looked refreshed after a long vacation, but because she looked different. Very different. The kind of different that makes you scroll back through old photos just to check if your memory's playing tricks. Spoiler, it's not. The jawline? Sharper than ever. The cheeks? Higher, fuller, perfectly sculpted, like they'd been lifted straight out of an editing app. And that nose, sleeker, shorter, refined in a way that whispers expensive before you can even blink. Sources claim the whispers started almost instantly. Did she get work done turned into, oh, she definitely got work done in record time. And honestly, it's not just the features, it's the whole vibe. That old warmth in her smile, the one she once tied proudly to her mixed heritage and family roots, feels airbrushed out. Insiders say this isn't just a glow-up, it's a full-scale rebrand, and the timing? Oh, it's chef's kiss, suspicious. Because Meghan didn't debut this new look at some glamorous A-list event. No, she stepped out for a casual public appearance and still managed to steal every headline. Coincidence? Please. People close to her circle hint that she's been quietly perfecting this transformation for months, skipping out on certain events, limiting public sightings, and showing up only when the result would be, well, impossible to miss. But the real kicker? This transformation seems almost designed to erase certain parts of her past. Remember the Meghan who once posted about her Markle nose in a heartfelt Father's Day tribute? Yeah, she's gone. And so is the feature that tied her to that story. What we're left with is a version of Meghan that looks like she belongs in an aristocratic oil painting, except the kind of portrait where you know the artist took a few liberties to improve reality. Insiders say there's been a shift in her inner circle too. Old friends, quietly fading. Family, rarely seen. Harry? Well, let's just say his absence from recent appearances has not gone unnoticed. And yet, every move she makes feels meticulously choreographed. Even the lighting at her latest outing was perfect, as if the entire setting was chosen not for the moment, but for the photographs afterward. And that's the thing, this doesn't feel like a woman living her life. It feels like a woman staging her life. When every angle is this calculated, every feature this sculpted, you have to wonder, is the goal to connect with people or to become completely untouchable? Because here's where it gets interesting. Sources claim Meghan's been studying the faces of European royalty and old money elites, aiming for that subtle, born into it refinement. The irony? You can't fake old money without looking like you're trying to fake old money. And in her case, the effort might be showing more than she wants. Could this get any worse? Oh, it gets worse. Because the more you zoom in on Meghan's so-called public comeback, the more the cracks start to show, and we're not talking about her skin. At this latest appearance, everything from her outfit to her body language screamed planned. Not a hair out of place, not a shadow on that freshly smoothed forehead. But when you strip away the gloss, the scene had a strange emptiness. The crowd around her, noticeably thin. The smiles from those nearby, polite, distant, the kind you give someone you know you're supposed to like, but don't actually know that well. And the people who weren't there spoke louder than the ones who were. No sign of her mother, Doria, who used to be glued to her side. No trace of her father, of course. And Harry? Nowhere. Insiders say the two have been living parallel lives lately, showing up at different events, carefully avoiding overlapping public moments. Which makes you wonder, was this transformation for herself or for someone else entirely? The real eyebrow raiser came when her so-called friends started posting about her. The captions read like they were all working from the same press release, calling her radiant, iconic, pure magic, without a single personal detail or inside joke. That's not friendship, that's marketing. Even the setting a location that used to be the it spot, but hasn't been on a must-visit list in years, was a curious choice. It's almost as if she's chasing the ghost of a scene that's already moved on, trying to project exclusivity while quietly revealing she's no longer on the top-tier guest list. And here's the kicker: every adjustment to her face seems to match this ambition. The jawline that says old money, the nose that erases a chapter of her past, the filler that builds a facade of youth and privilege. But privilege comes with connections, and connections can't be bought at a clinic. For all the polish, the curated settings, the whispered comparisons to European nobility, the reality is starting to show. She's building an image so perfect, it's pushed away the very people who once made her life feel real. And in the end, what's the point of looking like you belong at the most exclusive table in the world, if there's no one left to sit next to you? Could this be the biggest sign yet that Meghan's new look isn't just about beauty, it's about hiding something much bigger? And here's where the story takes a turn from intriguing to downright unsettling. Because beneath all the whispers about nose bridges, cheekbones, and jawlines lies a bigger, far messier truth, one that no amount of filler can smooth over. People close to the situation claim this isn't just a new look phase, it's a calculated campaign to reset Meghan's entire narrative. Think about it. If you subtly erase the features most tied to your family heritage and you replace them with the kind of symmetrical aristocratic angles that scream upper crust, you're not just changing how people see you, you're changing what they see. It's a clever move, sure, but also a dangerous one. Because when your face becomes the brand, every tweak becomes a headline and every absence becomes a statement. And lately, the absences have been louder than the appearances. Missing from the photo ops are not just her parents, but the kids, the emotional heart of any public family moment. No casual hugs caught on camera, no blurry candid shots, nothing that says, this is a real life, not just a curated feed. Even her social media allies are starting to look more like PR assets than genuine companions, posting glossy compliments that could double as luxury skincare ads. Meanwhile, the real A-list players, the ones she once mingled with, are notably silent. Some insiders claim she's quietly been left off certain guest lists, replaced by fresher faces who come with less baggage. And yet, she keeps doubling down on the transformation, as if the sharper the angles and smoother the skin, the closer she'll get to that untouchable status she's chasing. But here's the twist. Untouchable works both ways. You can be admired from afar and kept at a distance. Which begs the question, is Meghan's new face her greatest asset right now? Or the clearest sign that the world she wants to be part of has already closed its doors?